When the Great Fire of 1911 struck the heart of Bangor, very few buildings were left standing. The devastation looked as if an atomic bomb was dropped within the city. Residents, as well as business owners' dreams were reduced to a pile of rubble. Life, as Bangor residents once knew it, became a past memory in the smoldering smoke that filled the sky. In 1912, what was taken by fire, new buildings began to rise from within the ashes. Residents of Bangor refused to surrender their beloved city to a destructive force. One of the many areas affected by this devastation was on Franklin Street. Also rebuilt in 1912, the building still stands to this day. One of the new buildings is located at 321 Franklin Street. In the basement of this building, many years ago, a restaurant pub opened for business. One of the regular customers and a friend to the owner was a taxi driver, a gentleman by the name of Norman. In the year 2000, Norman volunteered to be a designated driver for friends going to different locations in Bangor. Later that night, Norman makes a stop at his favorite pub. He enters the pub alone. As time passed, Norman didn't show up to give rides to his friends. After searching for Norman, they found him downstairs in the pub, laying on the floor. Norman suddenly and unexpectedly passed away when he entered the pub. As time passes, the pub owner sells the business. New owners couldn't make a go of the business and sold the business to another. They too couldn't make a go of the business. Since early 2000, multiple pub owners have come and gone. None of these new owners were able to keep the business going. The pubs closed down. However, in January 2019, husband and wife Richard and Mandy Clark pick up the keys to the pub. Like many others in Bangor's history, their dreams of running a business in the Queen City come true. They began renovations and started noticing strange and unexplained events, objects being moved, strange unexplained sounds, and on many occasions saw things moving in the room. What they described sounded like mists and partial apparitions moving. When the pub opened, Richard, Mandy, and others noticed these strange events were getting stronger and more frequent. Is Benjamin Pub haunted? We visit the pub and search for answers. Pub owner Richard and Mandy wondering if the activity they're experiencing, is it possible the spirit of Norman is one of the spirits they've been encountering. The first night I come to the pub, I talk with Norman's son and granddaughter. I listen to their conversation about Norman. They show me the exact location Norman was found laying on the floor. During this investigation, I will not directly call out Norman's name. I will ask questions to see if we can get verification if Norman is in the pub. However, the type of activity Richard and Mandy and others experience in this pub, I believe there are multiple spirits here. If this turns out to be the case, we'll need to find answers as to why. This will not be an easy investigation. There's a lot of running refrigerated equipment as well as other sounds that can corrupt the audio.
It sounded like somebody was moving stuff in the kitchen. We were here on a Monday because we're closed Mondays and Tuesdays. So we had the back door open and it was cool out, but the next morning I came in and I was angry because he left the air conditioner on, but he's like, you were here with me. We didn't have the air conditioner on because it was cool outside. We had the back door open. So, and then I left because I had my kids with me. I said, shut off the lights, we're leaving. And all the light switches are over there except for that exit light right there, that emergency light. So the kids shut off those lights, and it's completely dark in here, and then we shut off these lights, and then we leave. We came back a couple of hours later, and the bar lights were on. And I know full well that the bar lights were off when we left, because, I mean, there's no way, yeah.
Right.
I would notice if those were left on.
A lot of times you can see something running, it's almost like they're running towards that back wall, and there's nothing back there but a wall.
Yeah.
And then if you're when I'm in the kitchen working, a lot of times you'll see something move across the doorway. And then last week I could see someone stepping around that post. So I was standing right here, and all I saw was a shadow of like, it looked like a heel of a foot.
Unexplained movement sounds, electronic devices affected, lights turning on or off, visual sightings of what looks like someone is moving in front of you. These are all signs of paranormal encounters. Some who deny the existence of the paranormal can find simple answers to explain these occurrences. Issues with the electrical, over-exaggerated minds causing people to hear strange sounds such as voices or see apparitions walking across the room. I too am a skeptic when it comes to the paranormal. However, when recording devices pick up a disembodied voice at the exact moment you heard a voice, or the video camera capturing an anomaly at the exact moment you see the anomaly in real time, this is when you know you have confirmation what you're experiencing is not in your imagination. Audio or video cameras do not imagine things like the human mind can. We must do full investigations to confirm these paranormal encounters. I have found the best tool to accomplish this task are from the use of audio and video devices. You guys mentioned to me when you guys turn on a radio down in this basement, you're having problems picking up any radio stations?
Yes, that's correct. There was this one area in the middle of that downstairs that I had a steel rack down there the whole time I was doing construction, and on the very top of it I could get one station.
One station. So for me to use a spirit box in here, if we have any captures using a spirit box, that's something we need to pay close attention to then, if that's the case. Hello?
Anybody else is here, hello?
Before I start this investigation, I must first confirm there is in fact paranormal activity going on in this pub. I'll do a walkthrough using the night vision camera with other cameras set up. I have found if spirits want to talk, you will capture them on audio. And if a location has multiple spirits, you will capture multiple help me's. If spirits know you are there to listen to them, and if they are in distress or just want you to listen to what they have to say, they will say help me. What was captured during this walkthrough confirmed there is paranormal activity in this pub.
Is that you moving down there by the pool tables?
Are you here? Is there anybody in here? How do we know this is a spirit talking? Most spirits are in a dimension where time moves much faster than our dimension. When I slow this down by 75%, my voice plays back in slow motion, while this spirit voice sounds to be a normal speed. If you're back here, why do you stay back here? Hi. Is there something back here that you're trying to tell us? Something going on? What's going on back here? Why are you always trying to get somebody to come back here? What looked like a fast-moving shadow actually came from the game monitor next to the pool table. This was not paranormal related. If there's anything that you could say in one word, try to let us know what's going on. What word did you want to use? What word can you use? Say something? Did you say something? you say something?
So before I turn these recordings off, is there anything at all that you want to say?
After listening to the recordings confirmed I was hearing disembodied voices from spirits inside this pub. I set the HD camera down on the bar. Richard and Mandy also confirmed there's been a history of voices heard in the kitchen. During this conversation, more EVPs were captured.
In the background a couple of times, but
Tonight?
yeah, not enough to understand any of it. But
Every time I go in there, I swear I hear a disembodied voice. I don't know if it's equipment making sounds or what. I'll view the recordings and see, but I swear I hear somebody back there talking. Please, what are you doing back here? What? Hello? Okay, we hear you. Would like to know what you have to say.
We've been in there before and we've heard what
Yeah.
sound like people talking.
I heard a female voice in my ear, but that's quite a while ago now. And my stepbrother, he owned this bar 20 years ago. So I talk. He's in North Carolina, and I asked him if he saw anything when he was down here. And I used to work for them, and I kept the books. I was here by myself quite a bit. But he said that the cook then, 20 years ago, could swear that he heard voices in his ears, and he was always in the kitchen.
In the kitchen, okay.
Yeah, and that was 20 years ago, before our friend Norman even passed away. But they set up and it was a cook. His name was Kevin. I knew him, and I did not know that until I asked Scott. Scott kept telling him, "Now it's all in your head. Don't worry about it," But he swore he kept hearing voices.
You have shown yourself inside this place. They have seen you. You have moved stuff around in here. You're obviously doing something, trying to get somebody's attention. Please, I'm not asking you to do tricks. I just want to verify that you are here and that you can hear me. All right, thank you. Thank you if you said something. I hope you did say something because I'd like to figure out who you are and what's wrong. Did that just turn on without you turning it on?
I don't have any games on here, so one of my kids asked me what time I was going to be home, and I said that I'd be home in just a little bit,
Yeah,
and then a game just turned on,
Wow,
and I don't have any games on my phone.
that's pretty strange. Are you playing with your phone? Are you trying to get our attention? Of all places, why are you right here? Why do you stay here? After hearing multiple disembodied voices, felt cold touches on my arms, felt static energy going across my face, and reviewing what was captured on the recordings, there's no doubt Benjamin Pub has paranormal activity. When spirits ask for help and calling you out using your full name, this is when you know these encounters are not residual energy hauntings. These are intelligent spirits present in real time. I wanted to make sure when I heard the male spirit say my full name on the recording that this wasn't audio pareidolia on my part. I let a few people listen to the audio. They confirmed they heard my full name. A lot of times spirits say my first name during investigations, but it's rare they use my full name. Even more puzzling to me, how did the spirit at the pub know my full name? I only told them my first name. We come back the following night. Joshua, Tara, and Dave come on the investigation. We heard a number of disembodied voices and strange unexplained sounds. Unfortunately, there were a lot of sound contaminations due to the amount of restaurant equipment running this night. I was able to digitally enhance some of these captures, but the Ghost Box is the best equipment to use under these circumstances. Is there anybody inside this downstairs area of this building? Why are you in here? What happened to you? Did you want to talk with us about it, please? We'd like to figure out what's going on with you and why you stay in here. Like I said, my name's Kent. This right here is Joshua. This is Tara. Up there's Dave. And I know you guys know who the owners are.
Did you hear that? I heard that too.
All right.
Did you hear that? I heard that too.
Ma'am, what happened to you?
If you died here and your spirit's stuck in here, can you let me know who you are, please? Help you? Do you know that you are dead? I heard somebody died right here. Is there a camera on that? Did that go off when I asked that question? Who died right here? I cannot stress the importance we confirm what these spirits say by slowing the recordings down. 2 times a male voice sounded like he said Norman. Upon slow replay, this didn't sound like Norman. However, another camera captured what did sound like Norman. It's very important we get confirmation. The person that died right here, do you know his name? You do? Did somebody die in this room? What is your name, please? Another interesting point, the male voice who said it was me also sound like the same voice who possibly said Norman. We don't know the history of this 108-year-old building. We can only assume that others may have died in this building during the 108 years. I find it interesting a male spirit says, "I left." Was he referring to my visit from the night before? Then a female spirit says, "You came back." The same voice says, "You found us." Many investigations I've been on, spirits have stated, "You found me, you found us, you found her, come find us, come find me." What do they mean by this? In my opinion, this either means their burial was found, or they want their remains found, or we have made contact with them in the spirit realm. They hear us and we hear them. During these investigations at the pub, we could hear the disembodied voice of a female say, "Help me." 10 times we captured a female say, "Help me." 2 times a male said, "Help us." 1 time a male said, "You can help us." Another time a male said, "Help," and "I need help." I have learned there are times spirits try to help other spirits. I believe in this case, male spirits are asking for help with the female spirit possibly in distress. In fact, this whole investigation keeps leading back to a female spirit asking for help. I go back to the pub to conduct another investigation in hopes to find out who this female spirit is and what happened to her. Lisa? Lisa? Is that your name? Can I have verification, please? Lisa, was that you? The lower section of the pool table room is not the only section where the name Lisa was captured. While in the kitchen doing a ghost box session, a spirit mentions the name Lisa again. In an earlier investigation, a female voice was captured. At the time I listened to the recording, I thought I heard the name Lisa mentioned. I went back, listened closely to the EVP captured, and confirmed I did hear the name Lisa. After receiving confirmation the female name is Lisa, before leaving, there were a couple of things I wanted to say to Lisa. I stood outside the pub across the street, hit record on the camera. To my surprise, multiple EVPs were captured. The more we learn and understand what's going on from this investigation, the more the paranormal activity is becoming prevalent. Okay, I'm outside the pub. Lisa? Lisa, I'd like to see your spirit set free, okay? I hope you can talk with me and tell me what's going on. All right? I hope that you can verify to me your last name. Okay. I have found people who've died from sudden horrific deaths, such as deaths caused by murder. Their spirits tend to linger without peace. They seek help. What really caught my attention, a spirit said he killed girls. I have to look into the possibility Lisa may have been a murder victim. I do a Google search, Lisa murder Bangor. In 1990, there was in fact a Lisa murdered in Bangor. What really caught my attention, the last place this murder victim was seen alive was outside a Bangor nightclub. Benjamin's Pub is not this nightclub, but for unknown reasons we have a spirit of a female named Lisa seeking help at Benjamin's Pub. I need verification who Lisa is. What is her last name?
Lisa, can you verify your last name to us, please? Did you just say Garland?
Lisa, why do you stay here? Why here of all places? Can you tell me and verify to me Lisa's last name, please? Is that why you guys were asking for help? Because you wanted Lisa? You want us to help Lisa? I know you're here. right in front of me, aren't you? As mentioned earlier in this investigation, there are multiple spirits in and around this pub. We all noticed strange activity in this lower section. I knew a spirit was very close to me. I heard the disembodied voice and I felt its presence right in front of me. Imagine taking two magnets, holding them apart, slowly bringing them together. Suddenly, the magnets forcefully attach to each other. Now imagine turning one of the magnets the opposite way. Slowly bring them together. You feel the force of the magnets pushing away from each other. This is what I felt before asking the spirit if it was in front of me. I could feel a force pushing on me as if something wanted me to back up. I then felt a very cold presence surround me. All right. I can't spin this camera around on me, but I even saw cold come out from my breath. And actually I'm sweating, but all of a sudden I felt this cold presence surround me. I warned the Clarks once we start these investigations, and the spirits are aware we know and understand their presence are there, the activity will increase. After visiting this pub, also 2 other paranormal investigation teams conducted investigations. The activity became more prevalent. A picture of a gentleman named Fred was hanging on the wall next to the doorway of the pub. After conducting these investigations, one morning Richard comes into the pub. He found Fred's picture laying on the floor with the frame of the picture covering his eyes and mouth. The back portion of the picture assembly was still on the wall. Richard reviewed the security camera footage. This is what was captured.
I have to add that there's a lot of activity here this morning while I'm trying to investigate this picture. I'm hearing a lot of noises, but anyway, I'm going to tough it out. I'm here by myself. This is the contents of the picture. I sent these pictures to my wife. She's at home. She doesn't want to come down right now. I don't know why. And we thought it ironic that the frame pieces landed on the picture of Fred to cover his eyes and his mouth. Maybe just a coincidence, but here's the contents of the picture. This is the frame. It's crushed. If you look at it, this is pulled up like that. The bottom of it is completely broken off it. This is completely undone. It's barely hanging onto the wall. There's a picture on the wall of Fred, and I came in this morning, it was ripped down. I've located it on the surveillance camera. It's really hard to see at this angle, but it's this picture right here is what you're going to be looking at. It was pretty much viciously ripped off the wall. Let's see if I can play this and chew gum at the same time. Watch carefully.
There are some who will say fishing line or strings were attached to this picture and this is staged. To avoid this argument, I examined the footage closely by putting a screenshot through different filters in order to determine if there was anything attached to this picture that caused it to come loose from the frame. I could not detect any lines attached to the frame, but by examining this closely, I did find something really strange. Right before the picture is pulled from the frame, a mist appears next to the picture a split second before the picture is ripped from the frame. Partial apparition spirits do appear in the form as an orb or a mist. In my opinion, this is conclusive evidence a spirit ripped this picture from the wall. Because I felt this spirit's strong presence, not knowing what kind of spirit this is, I don't want my back turned to the pitch darkness in this pub. And in case something happens, I need a light on to make my escape. You just say something? Were you trying to tell us something down here? I want to keep my focus on Lisa, but... Was that you moving? I'm at home going over all the evidence. After looking over the recording and trying to piece all this together, I still need more confirmation Lisa is the female murdered in Bangor 1990. Before making any claims this is in fact Lisa Garland, I need verification. I decided to stop this investigation, put what I have together in a video, and only mention we encountered the spirit of a young female named Lisa, a young lady wanting help. I will see if there's anything I can do at a later date with this investigation. But in all honesty, it really saddens me to hear the plea of a young woman asking for help, and I'm not sure what to do at this point. I can't prove who this young lady is. I know from experience we must understand a spirit situation and who they are, and have an understanding what happened to them before we can have an idea on how to help them, if we can help them. Just when I decided to set this investigation aside, something totally unexpected happens. Alright, I'm working on the pub investigation, and this is the section where I'm finalizing from the editing where I first discovered that this female at the pub is named Lisa. Now, I'm sitting here working on this and finalizing this, and I just heard in my ear that female voice go, "Hey." And this is the same "hey" I heard in Bangor, and I also heard this same "hey" at the pub. So did you follow me? I'm viewing the pub video where I did a walkthrough trying to get confirmation on Lisa's last name, and I heard very clear another disembodied voice of a female. This time it said Lisa right in my ear. At this point in time, I have no doubt Lisa's here. Hey? Now you sound exactly like the same voice that's been saying hey in my ear in Bangor and in this house and at the pub. Lisa? Hey. Hey, Lisa, can you verify to me your last name, please? The female Lisa at the pub. Is that Lisa Garland? That was a disembodied voice. With other confirmation from spirits and Lisa, I now know this is Lisa Garland. In 1991, David G. Fleming was driving his car. He spots a 15-year-old female riding her bicycle. He runs her down with his car, abducts her, and takes her to a wooded area. Fleming rapes and stabs her, then cutting her throat. He believed the teen was dead, and he covered her in leaves. The teen survived and was able to identify David Fleming. Upon his conviction, he was sentenced to 80 years in prison. Also upon his conviction, Fleming was mandated to turn over a sample of his DNA. When law enforcement obtained his DNA, they found a genetic match to the DNA obtained from the 1990 Bangor rape and murder of Lisa Garland. Lisa was only 18 years old when Fleming abducted her. She was last seen alive outside a downtown Bangor nightclub. Fleming raped and beat Lisa. He strangled Lisa to death and disposed of her body at an Alton gravel pit. Lisa was found 1 month later. There was a disembodied voice captured that gave me an indication Lisa is not at peace. I talked with Lisa and told her I didn't blame her for the hate she felt towards Fleming. What she feels is completely justified. I also advised her he took her life at a young age, but don't let him take her peace from her in the afterlife. I believe Lisa was able to express her anger and got her message across to the living. I believe David Fleming is a serial rapist and killer. Before I talked with Lisa while setting up the cameras, I heard a disembodied voice say there are others. When doing this investigation, I asked the spirits of the Lamb House if they can confirm there are other victims. Besides Lisa and the 15-year-old girl he attacked, I know of 2 other rape cases. Are there more victims that this David Fleming murdered? There are? That's what I thought. Do you by chance, can you give me a name? I go back to the pub in Bangor in hopes to finish this investigation with Lisa moving into peace. I talk with her more at the pub.
I have 6 kids, 15 grandkids. I love my kids and my grandkids, and I tell you what, I know your parents must have been crushed over what happened to you. I know your family must have been devastated. I couldn't even imagine what they went through over your murder. You gotta say what you have to say and put that last word in. So you can rest in peace. Okay?
I show Lisa a picture of her on my cell phone. A faint EVP was captured confirming this is her.
And by the way, Lisa, is this you?
I then read her a message from her family written on her birthday in 2013. This will not be shown in the video.
You're not forgotten, okay? I'm going to tell your story.
In the past few days, I haven't heard from Lisa. I can only hope after talking with her she's at peace. Outside of the counters of Lisa, Benjamin's Pub has a lot of paranormal activity. It would take multiple investigations to fully understand why all these spirits are there. If Norman is there, we couldn't confirm it, and we may never fully understand why Lisa was at the pub.